Libraries connect people to information, resources, entertainment, and their community. Adapting to rapidly changing needs for services this past year has been a challenge for all of our libraries. But for Kelsey Casey, who was appointed new library director of the Plymouth Public Library during this pandemic, the challenges were even greater. Kelsey is up to it and visited with Julie via Zoom to update us on what's new at the library.
Kelsey, Casey, welcome. We're so pleased to have you here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So, first question is, you become the head librarian at the director of the library here in Plymouth. How did you get into this profession? You must love books and more.
Yes. So I've always loved reading. I was always a voracious reader. When I was in elementary school, I was part of the library club where during recess we would shelve books or stamp incoming materials. So I would always get first pick at the books. And, through high school, college, of course, I changed my mind about a dozen times. But I always kind of would jump back to library services. And that's what I ended up doing. And I've been in it since.
Yeah, it's in your blood. Now, before you came to Plymouth, and in Plymouth, you were the assistant director, then you became the interim director, and then you became the director when Jennifer Harris retired, which was great for Plymouth, not to see her go, but to have you stand up into her shoes, which was a wonderful thing. So you were in Canterbury, Connecticut. Can you talk a little about your experience there?
So Canterbury is a very different area than here. It's a very rural uh, population of 3,000. So a little tiny library, but it was one of those libraries that hadn't been updated for a really long time. So there was a lot of work to be done, including, changing the website. So it wasn't something that looked like it came from 1991, adding social media accounts and just kind of updating the library too, because libraries in general, people think of them as the place where books live. And that was definitely true for that library. So we changed it into what libraries should be, which is an information center for everything, and also a community center for people to gather and interact. And I had a great time there and I loved it, but it was time to move on to something bigger because their entire budget is about our book budget here for
Yeah.
adults. So a
So let's
lot
talk a
more
little bit.
chances for me to work.
Oh, yeah. And let's talk a little bit more about all the other things that libraries do, not just books. Talk about all the many programs that are offered through a library, especially Plymouth.
Yes. So we actually tonight have a new, I wouldn't really call it a book club, but a new club called Spices and Spatulas, where we have spices that people can pick up. And then everyone makes a recipe that uses that spice. And we'll talk about it on Zoom. We'll talk about the history of the spice. And that's going to be a monthly group that will meet on the first Tuesday of every month. So that's something that's, totally not book related. It just it showcases one of our databases, which are one of our great resources. So I always love to use the cooking databases because I hate looking for recipes online and then you get that person's info, their whole life story before you can actually
Right,
see the
right,
recipe.
right. Well, you don't think of a library as somewhere that you'd be talking about spices or cooking, but again, that just
Yep.
shows the variety of things that libraries do. Now, you've taken the helm here at a very unique time where you haven't been open, or you've been open limited hours, and a lot of things have been done online. A lot of things have been done through Zoom. How is that going to change over the summer?
So we will still be offering some Zoom programs for things like lectures. It just works better for that format. But then we will also be having some outdoor programs. We are starting with outdoor story time this week. We will have more outdoor story times. We'll have the music. We'll have some animal ambassadors coming. Our summer reading theme this year is Tails and Tales. So it's all animal themed. So we'll have a fun summer out on the lawn, and hopefully by the fall we'll be able to open the Phalo room up again for
Bring people back.
programs.
Yeah. Now, how robust is your social media program? How do you get everybody to have a library card in their wallet in the town of Plymouth?
So that's one of my main goals. We do want everyone in Plymouth to have a library card. So my focus now is getting out into the community and bringing the library to them. We went to Red Brook recently for one of their events, and we signed up 49 people for library cards. So it's 49 people that hadn't gotten a chance to come up to Plymouth Center and get a library card at the library. So we're working on bringing the library to people that don't normally come up this way. Plymouth is big.
Yeah, which is really great. And how do people, how would they realize how many things they have access to just through the databases that are available as being a library member? Like from soup to nuts, there's like nothing you can't find at a library. Talk about that a little bit.
So once you get your library card, you have access to all of our online resources. So you can get Rosetta Stone for free, all of their languages. You can get transparent languages. That's another big one. And pretty much any ebook, audiobook. There's even streaming services. So I would say that you should go to the website, go to our e-resources tab, and look at everything that's there. You'll be surprised at the amount of things that we offer.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible, and people should absolutely do that. And how do you think the pandemic has changed the way people actually view libraries?
So the shift has been kind of growing where libraries are seen as kind of a community center instead of just the place where the books live. So through the pandemic, a lot of people have realized what a big part of their lives the library has been. Um, just not being able to gather with people has been such a huge detriment of the pandemic. And the library was the place where a lot of people would do that. Maybe a lot of people would get their only social interaction from the day at the library. So as we shift back into somewhat normal, we are hoping to connect people more because, gosh, the social aspect of the pandemic has been just terrible.
Right, right. And libraries are such a neutral place to go where there's no pressure, there's no politics. It's just people enjoying the space, enjoying the books, enjoying the programs, enjoying the other people in a very positive manner. So congratulations on that. That's wonderful. And I can't leave you without asking, what books do you have on your bedside table that you're reading?
So I always like to try to do one biography or nonfiction and one fiction at a time. So right now I am reading Crying in H Mart and I am reading Liberty. So one I have on my phone so I can read at all times, and then one I have in book format because I love the book format, but I do like being able to read, if I'm waiting in line somewhere.
That's right.
Or
Good for you. Excellent. Well, Kelsey, it's been wonderful to talk to you today. I'm sure we will see you again. And best of luck as the director of the Plymouth Public Library. We welcome you, and we're so happy that you're here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
To check out the library's programming and all it has to offer, visit plymouthpubliclibrary.org.